Hey, my lovely language arts people. It's Miss Potter here, and I'm gonna go over your assignment for Thursday and Friday. All right, guys. So, unfortunately, my Friday peeps, I will not be with you. Mr. Vasquez will be. But I kind of wanted to go over the assignment with you so that hopefully you guys don't have any questions and you guys won't be bugging Mr. Vasquez. But yeah, so we are going to practice with reasoning a little bit. So I'm going to go through this presentation with you guys, and then hopefully you guys will be able to complete the assignment. So first things first, anything you see highlighted is something that you have to do. I want to kind of get you guys into that habit. So definitely anything you see highlighted is something that you have to complete. Now, just a reminder, CER, you're going to hear this over and over again. CER, claim, evidence, reasoning. You're going to hear it until you guys remember it, like it's the back of your hand or whatever, okay? This graphic right here, let me see if I can move my head. Ooh, I can. This graphic right here is pretty good at kind of showing you guys the difference between the three, the claim, the evidence, the reasoning. I really like this graphic organizer, so that's why I used it. I'm going to make my head a little bit smaller so that you guys can see more of the slides. So hopefully that'll work. All right, so next slide. Here is what we as writers might be tempted to do, but must not, under any circumstances, for the love of all reading and writing that exists in the known universe today, never, ever, 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 ever do. The claim, bananas are full of beneficial nutrients like potassium. According to livescience.com, they are packed with potassium. What this means is bananas really do have a lot of potassium. Duh. Okay. If your evidence is that they are packed with potassium, then you really don't want to repeat that they really do have a lot of potassium. This is completely wrong. Do not do this ever. Some of you guys did, and that's okay. I'm going to get you out of that habit. All right, so that's basically like saying the sky is blue. For example, I went outside and looked at the sky and it was blue. This evidence proves that the sky is blue. Duh. Okay, so we kind of want to avoid this. So, why? Like, what? What's wrong with that answer? Like, I mean, yeah, I looked up the sky is blue. That is my evidence. Therefore, the sky is blue. What is wrong with that? I want you guys to think about it for a second. Something is definitely missing. And what is it? Okay. This is missing. And before you say it's a brain, no. Okay. But pause, take a moment to consider the photo. And it says the photo above, I mean the photo next to it. What do you think the connection is between this photo and what I'm talking about? Okay, and then you're going to write your answer in this space right here. So if you guys don't have it in presentation mode, you guys could actually type here. This is a text box. But basically, what is missing? What do you guys think? What is this connection? What is the brain connection? What do you think? I'm going to give you a hint. When you use your brain, what do you do? Think about it, okay? When you use your brain, what do you do? Usually you think, you have to process things, you connect things. Oh, your brain connects things. Think about it, okay? So what is your answer here? Then it says in a CER paragraph, the claim is very important. You have to know what it is you're trying to say. You have to have a clear opinion or idea. The evidence is also important. It gives you your strength to your opinion. It proves it proves you know how to support your idea. But the most important part of a CER is the absolutely 100% the reasoning. Okay, so why do you think the reasoning is the most important sentence of a CER or a CERER? Once again, you see that it is highlighted, so you're gonna want to write your answer in this text box. Okay, why do you think the reasoning sentence is the most important sentence? I wish there was a way that I could like add time right here, but I can't. So Pretend I give you 2 minutes. So pause the video for 2 minutes. Write your answer. Did you pause it? I don't think you paused it. I'm assuming you paused it. I look like an old lady like this. Okay, so here's my answer. The reasoning sentence proves to the reader that you have thought about the claim, you found evidence that supports it, and you thought about how the two things are connected. Oh my gosh, if you didn't say something about that brain and connections, you might want to go back and change your answer so that, like, basically the reasoning is you using your brain. The reasoning sentence is the one for which you especially exercise the muscles of your brain. It's basically the thinking science, okay? So basically the reasoning comes down to, this is the thought process. This is you connecting the evidence to your claim, okay? So the next slide is, I'm giving you 2 examples here, and it's the same question. Basically, parents and guardians of middle school students have concerns about how their kids are becoming more and more addicted to their phones. According to CNN News, more than 80% of parents do not want their kids to use cell phones during school. What this statistic shows is that parents don't want their kids to use phones when they are at school. Again, this reasoning kind of sucks. I'm not gonna lie. It's boring, okay? But here we see the claim is the same, the evidence is the same, but here's our reasoning statement. What this statistic shows is that over 3 in 4 parents prefer that school be a place where their kids do not have exposure to the constant tempting distraction of their phones. So I don't repeat what the statistic I can't talk today. What statistic shows is that parents don't want their kids using phones. Well, obviously we said that in the claim, okay? But this reasoning statement is totally different in that it explains how this evidence is connected to the claim, okay? And so I kind of just gave you the answer because it says which one is better and why. So repeat what I said if you have to. Remember, this is a YouTube video. You can pause it, go back, and rewatch it, okay? And then the other thing that I want you to look at is, what words did I use to avoid being redundant, which means like duh, or repetitive, okay? So think of things that I said in the first version that I don't do in the second version. So again, like I said, if you missed something, this is a YouTube video. You can stop it, rewind it, and go back to it. So this is like your test to show me that you guys know what we're talking about, okay? On the next 3 slides, I'm going to give you guys a claim and an evidence sentence. You need to come up with the reasoning. Remember that the reasoning is explaining why the evidence supports the claim, or basically why your evidence is important to the argument. Okay, so for the first one, I say news reported on social media often cannot be trusted. According to sciencenewsforstudents.org on Twitter, phony stories reach more people than truthful ones do. So why is this evidence important to this claim? That's your reasoning statement. You could say this shows that blah, 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 blah. Or you could say this is important because blah, 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 blah. And you tell me why phony stories reaching more people than truthful ones do is related to the news reported on social media cannot be trusted. Okay, so that's your first task. Your second task is going to be this one. People spend money on what matters to them, even when it comes to particular food preferences. According to Chris Woodyard with USA Today, consumers are puckering up for sour food and drinks of all sorts. Again, why is this important to spending money? Okay. Basically, one of the things that you should look at is, how is sour food and drinks of all sources or all sorts, I mean, how does it relate to people spending money on food preferences? Okay, so remember, this is important because this shows that blah, blah, blah. This suggests blah, blah, blah. Okay, so that's reasoning task number 2. Task number 3, hard work and determination can accomplish incredible things for people. For example, the Washington Post report recently reported on a story about a high school senior named Michael Brown who applied to 20 colleges, including Ivy League universities, and got accepted to all of them. So how is this example important to hard work and determination? Okay, again, this proves, this suggests, this is important because, you know, things like that would work. Now, this is your task and probably the hardest. You're going to return to the slide with the 2 versions. That's slide 9. You can actually click on this link right here. I'd like you to come up with your own version of number 1. So do a bad one. And then number 2, I want you to do a good one. So the question that you guys need to answer is, what are some concerns parents have about teenage cell phone use? Now, here is the hard part. I want you guys to use Google to find evidence to support your claim. Okay. So what you would Google is basically what are some concerns parents have about teenage cell phone use? Pretty simple. And then you're going to give me a bad claim, evidence, and reasoning. And then I want you to change it into a really good one. Okay, so what are they concerned about according to whatever website you find? What is some evidence that supports your claim? And then finally, your last sentence is reasoning. Why is it important? Why is it connected? Okay. Now, if you do have any questions, I can't promise that I will respond right away on Friday because I will be busy with my grandfather's funeral. But I am available on Saturday, Sunday. Remember, most things, if I assign it on Thursday or Friday, it is due Sunday. So if you have any questions, email me because that is going to be the easiest way to get in touch with me. All right, guys, see you next week.